Some stories stick with you forever, no matter how much you try to shake them off. They linger in the back of your mind, like a shadow that refuses to fade. This is one of those stories. It happened just a few weeks ago, when I took a trip to visit an old friend in Austin, Texas. I had no idea that what was meant to be a simple reunion would turn into a night that still chills me to the bone. I had driven all day from Louisiana, eager to see Tom. We hadn't seen each other since high school, though we'd kept in touch online. He invited me to his house for my last night in town, an old place about an hour outside the city. It's quiet out here, he told me. No distractions. I thought it would be a great way to catch up before heading home. When I arrived, his house had this old-fashioned charm. Wooden porch, dim porch, light flickering, the smell of aged timber hanging in the air. The second I stepped onto the porch, the wood groaned under my weight, like it was whispering a warning. Inside, it was like stepping back in time. The furniture had that 70s look. Thick floral curtains hung over the windows, and every step on the hardwood floor was followed by a creak. It wasn't eerie, not yet, just old, lived in. Tom and I sat in the living room, laughing over old memories, whiskey warming our throats. One glass turned to two, then three, and before I knew it, the walls felt softer, the air heavier. It was a good kind of drunk, the kind that makes the world feel safe. At some point, Tom clapped me on the shoulder. "You're not driving anywhere tonight," he said, half laughing. "Spare room's yours." I didn't argue. I could barely walk straight, let alone drive. He led me down a narrow hallway, pushed open a door, and waved a hand toward a bed. I collapsed onto it without bothering to take off my shoes. Sometime in the middle of the night, I woke up. My mouth was dry, my head buzzing. The room was silent, dark. The only light came from a sliver of moonlight cutting through the blinds. That's when I saw it. In the far corner of the room, hanging from the closet door, was a long black coat. At first, I barely registered it. Just another object blending into the night, but something about it felt off. The shoulders were too broad, the way it hung too unnatural. I blinked, no change. A cold prickle ran down my spine. I told myself it was just a coat, nothing to be afraid of. I rolled over, squeezing my eyes shut. But the feeling didn't go away. You know that sensation when someone is watching you? When the air feels heavier, like it's pressing down on your chest. That's what I felt. I turned my head. The coat was still there. I forced myself to look away, to ignore it. Sleep. Just sleep. I don't know how long I was out before I woke up again. But this time, it wasn't thirst or discomfort that pulled me from sleep. It was sound. A slow, deliberate creaking, like a footstep. My breath caught in my throat. My skin turned ice cold. I turned my head. The coat was gone. My body moved before my mind caught up. I bolted out of bed, heart hammering against my ribs, and rushed to Tom's room. My hands shook as I shook him awake. "Tom!" My voice came out in a harsh whisper. "The coat, the one in the spare room." Tom squinted at me, groggy. "What coat?" I swallowed hard. "The black trench coat, on the closet door. It was there, I swear, and now..." He sat up fully, eyes sharpening. "I don't own a trench coat," he said slowly, "and I don't have a coat rack in that room." Silence, heavy. Then, without another word, Tom grabbed a flashlight and we searched the entire house. Every room, every closet, every shadowed corner. Nothing. No sign of forced entry. No misplaced coats. No explanation. Tom tried to convince me I had dreamed it, that the whiskey, The exhaustion had played tricks on me. I wanted to believe him. I really did. But in my gut, I knew something had been in that room with me, watching me, waiting. As soon as the sun rose, I packed my things and left. Tom tried to laugh it off, saying, "Next time, maybe lay off the whiskey." But he knew. I saw it in his eyes. The whole drive back to Louisiana, my mind kept circling back to that moment. The coat standing there in the dark, watching. The way it vanished without a trace. Maybe it was a hallucination. Maybe it was a cruel prank Tom refuses to admit to. Or maybe, just maybe, there was someone in that house, watching me sleep, and they decided to leave before morning. So next time you wake up in the middle of the night and see something in the corner of your room, don't blink, don't look away, because if you do, it might just move